supposed to be here because I said that I was going to go on a break. Oh, is that what I said? But then here we are. I hope you guys are well. I know. It's a surprise to myself that I'm actually here. I don't know how long I'm going to be on this thing. It's bright out. Super bright. Look, my forehead is shiny. I got some on my forehead. It's another day in the garden, you guys. But it's so stinking hot. Thank you. Let me get myself resituated because it's so stinking hot. Thank you. This is a very comfortable dress. Let me set you here. It's stinking hot. I don't know what it is, but I feel like the world is like, I'm gonna turn on my fan. I feel like the world wants to spontaneously combust. You guys, I have not been doing a good job of staying offline. I haven't. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Mm-mm. I haven't. And you know what? Sometimes old habits die hard. Oh, yes, they do. They do. It's like, I think that's just what it is. I feel like in the beginning of taking a social media break, that's when you have the most challenges. Almost like when you're taking a break from enjoying cannabis, that's when, you know, you have the most challenging times. Let me shout out the couple people that are here. Um, okay, Karen. Hey, AJ. Hey, Celine. Um, how are you guys doing? So, I do need to take the social media break, only to break up the hey, sweetie, break up the monotony of the habit. You know, a habit. It's just like your mind just going on autopilot, and you're just doing stuff for the sake of doing it, and it's just like why, why? So I do need to break up the monotony. Other than struggling with that, I have been also sitting in the void. And one thing I've been doing every day is, hey Celtic, how are you? Which big evening? Oh, that one with the young lover. Well, he's back home now. hmm So, you know, every day I've been going to the pool, and every day I've been floating and just allowing myself the meditation of stillness, the meditation of being present. And there is nothing quite like, in my opinion so far, with this experience floating every day, it helps me. It's a meditation in itself, just to sit or just to lay down and float in the water. Go ahead, Noodles. You have a question? Feel free. So yeah, I just go out there and I just float, you guys. Hey, Scott. Oh, you got another question? Okay, okay, Noodle. And okay, so here's the thing. I do snorkel, and when I snorkel, I have my flippers on. I have my life jacket on. Oh, is that right? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, Celtic. That's too bad. I don't follow any sports, so I don't know what's going on with anybody's team anywhere in the world. But yeah, you're not happy? Well, I'm sorry. What are you going to do to get happy? What are you going to do to get happy? So yeah, you guys. Anyway, so the snorkeling. So I snorkel. That's my thing. I go to different countries. I like to get in the water, but I have all of my stuff on. You know, like I said, life jacket, flippers, you know, everything. When I was growing up, I took swimming lessons. I took swimming lessons as a kid, and then in high school, I took swimming classes. That was part of the curriculum. So I would get more comfortable in the water. Yet I still find that sometimes there is this fear there just surrounding water in general, which I know sounds crazy because I just told you that I go snorkeling. And in the pool, I'm reminded of this fear that just randomly just will pop up. So it's like I purposely won't haven't ventured out to the deeper end of the pool. Hey Crime, how are you? It's a very interesting name. so so anyway, do you go snorkeling? But yeah, so I purposely won't go out to the I haven't gone out to the deeper end of the pool. But what I've been doing is, oh, okay, nice. Just allowing myself to relax. And as I relax and I'm floating and my mind, oh, you're Pisces. Okay, all right. Shout out to my Pisces. Okay. Um, but yeah, as I'm relaxing and I'm floating, I find myself out to the deeper section of the pool, even though I'm not all the way there. But I feel like I'm inching my way there slowly but surely and in my own time and in my own comfort. Okay, you're Puerto Rican. Okay, well, good for you. And shout out to my Puerto Ricans. Good for you. I've been to Puerto Rico. hmm Beautiful place. Beautiful place. I was in San Juan and I did a tour over there. Yeah, I date everybody. I don't, the person's ethnicity doesn't really matter to me. What matters to me is, are you sane? That's what matters to me. Are you sane? So, yeah, so I've just been doing this. And the other day, I remember, for the first time, I think in my life movie, and I'm 46, for the first time in my life movie, I'm laying down in this pool and I'm looking up at the clouds and I'm just having this whole meditation. Thank you, Crime. I'm having this whole meditation of how vast the world is and how, visualizing how the clouds look from space and I wonder, does it look similar? Because you know what I mean? Just this whole meditation of the clouds. And it was powerful to me. And it was so powerful, I ended up towards the deeper end of the pool. And when I realized that, for a split second, there was this panic. But then I've been telling myself, well, in the pool, well, B, when you go and you go snorkeling in the sea, your toes can't hit the bottom. Your toes are not hitting the bottom because there's this thing I have in the pool, like, oh my gosh, I want my toes to be able to hit the bottom. But when I'm snorkeling, obviously, my toes are not hitting the bottom. They're not hitting the bottom of the sea. So it's like in a way, it's an unfounded fear. And so I have been allowing myself to just get used to being in a pool environment and allowing my toes to not hit the bottom and allowing myself to relax deeper and allowing myself to breathe. And even if I end up floating out to the deeper side of the pool, remembering my techniques, my swimming techniques to get me back to the other side, to get me back to the other side, you know. So that's been an experience in itself. And I'm super grateful for the meditation of floating. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of, oh, my eye. There's some sort of therapy that takes place in a pool, and then you use like these, I think, goggles, or it's a dark room. I don't know what it's called. Let me see. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Look at my phone. I know. Yesterday or the other day, I went to a bar and a friend of mine. Oh my gosh! All my tabs are missing. What the world? Oh my gosh. Anyway, a friend of mine got me this thing called Bag of Dicks. And the sticker came from that. Anyway. Alright, so let's see. Floating. FL. Floating pool meditation. It's the whole thing. Okay, it says floating meditation in the pool combines weightless water suspension with mindful breathing or sound baths, often featuring crystal singing bowls, which is interesting. Sessions typically last 45 to 60 minutes. Cost is $20 to $60 per person at a resort or luxury wellness spa, and use a specialized pool hammocks or rafts. Very interesting, you guys. It says, hold on. You settle into a buoyant float or mattress in a heated pool. Would you remember that show, Baywatch? You settle into a buoyant float or mattress in a heated pool, sometimes paired with an eye mask. Guidance. A brief grounding meditation precedes ambient music or live acoustic instruments like gongs or chimes. At home practice, you can do this at home too. Use a supportive water hammock. Keep breathing slow and steady, and let your ears rest just at or below the water line. There's another thing too. I like swimming underneath the water. Either underneath the water, pretty much underneath the water. I like to have my head underneath the water. I don't like trying to stay above the water and swim. I prefer to just get in there, so to speak. So another thing too, in this pool, I haven't put my head in the water yet, like submerged it. I know, Jay. I know. Is it not clear? Is it not clear? Like I said, I got this the other day. I went to a bar with my girlfriends my girlfriend and her guy friend, and the guy bought me a bag of dicks. Here, let me show you. And that was a sticker that was in the bag. It was a time. Let me show you everything I got in the bag of dicks. Hold on. Cutting up. How hilarious. Everything I got in the bag. No sense. It's insane. This is my sense of humor, and these are my crazy friends. Hilarious. A mess. A mess. Hey, 777. It says proud of my wiener or something like that. Hilarious. Oh my god, what happened to my keychain? But we're just looking at these a bag of dicks. A mess. What happened to my keychain? Seriously. Seriously. So yeah. Yes, I do. I do love dick. If you didn't know that, now you know that. And yeah. Because what's not to love? 7 7, are you confused about that or what? I don't know. Didn't we know this here on this channel? Mm. Anyway, speaking of dick, so you guys know that my young lover went back to the state that he is from. And it's a beautiful thing. Hey Obadiah. Yeah, you know what, you guys? I don't really like text people like that. That's why my email is where it's at. But yeah. Um and anyway, so he went back home. We had a beautiful experience while he was here. It was a very safe space for him. He brought me these roses that I actually have to. I don't do WhatsApp either. These roses that I actually have to get ready to throw away and maybe buy myself some new roses. No, I don't think size matters. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, it's nice to look at because what's not to love about a nice big dick to look at? However, just because a person has a large phallus doesn't mean, of course, that they know, you know, how to work that thing, you know. And I've heard my girlfriend, like we talk about dick all the time. And she was like, yeah, sometimes guys with big dicks, they just go off the fact that they have a big dick. And so therefore, they don't feel like they need to really do anything other than just have a big dick. I was reading somewhere many, many moons ago that um, the ideal size of a dick. Hey, Don Zada. The ideal size of a dick. Now, this is going to sound really crazy, but this is what I was reading, and maybe a man wrote this article. Was the size of a doorknob. Look at my doorknob. I really don't have them. Okay, well, you know what I mean. Doorknob. And so, and then a girlfriend of mine was telling me that, she dated this guy and he had a beautiful, beautiful dick. He had like a hook to it. I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. If it has a hook to it, it hooks up because, the G spot is up there. But at the end of the day, I think it's all about, it's all about multiple things. For me, anyway. It's about love. It's about connection. It's about spirituality, it's about meditation, it's about conversation, it's about the intimacy. Even before the bedroom, there has to be intimacy present, you know. Because I don't have a laundry list of men. I'm very, very selective about who I give all of this to, you know, who I share all of this with. I'm very, 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 very selective. Like, I know who I slept with. I have the information in my phone. You know, I could tell you in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Um, Having said that, I've had experiences with this one guy that I used to date, and his um, it wasn't massive or anything like that, but he knew how to use it. And we would have sex all the time. We would make love all the time. I want to tell you, it was all the time. It was all the time. And it wasn't big, you know. And also, too, you know, I'm tight anyway, so it's like, you know what I mean? There's that. So it's probably going to feel big to me anyway because I'm tight. So there you have it. Um, but anyway, the reason why I said that I know that I haven't had a lot of sex partners is I've, you know, talked to my girlfriends, and I mean, you know, everybody has a different life path. But yeah, yeah, I know someone, and I'm pretty sure it's more than just one person. They've had hundreds of sexual partners. You know, a child. Everybody's different. You know, and I'm nowhere near. I mean, nowhere near. Yeah, hundreds. They had hundreds back in the day. They had hundreds, and back in the day, you know. So yeah, I'm nowhere near. When I tell you I'm nowhere near, I means that. I mean, like, nowhere near. hmm But I don't judge people because everyone has a different path, and you know, some people are just, that's just the way it is. Hey, Anthony. That's just the way it is, you know. But for me, I am very selective, and I take my time, you know, and I just feel like sharing a piece of myself is important. Like, you need, first of all, I'm doing great, Anthony. How are you? Like, first of all, you need to be sane, you know? You need to be sane. Like, ideally, for real, I'm gonna need you to I'm gonna need you to be okay. Oh my god, Noodle, did I miss your question? Whew. Let me see. Let me see if it'll let me go back. Noodle, I'm looking for it. What? Noodle, the only thing I have you asking me about is dancing around. By the way, let me show you the rest of the dance video because I couldn't. Sexual topic tonight. Oh, it was just kind of all over the place, Anthony. Let me show you. What in I thought. Oh my goodness, is that what happened? Hold on a second. Hold on, you guys. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to play this song anyway. Let me go to my library. You know what? It's so crazy how the syncing paused. I guess I have to go on my gram. Scroll down from the first question. Okay. Okay. Hmm. A noodle. All I see is what's the word Doc No dancing around today, and then you have a question, and then you say, well, another question, but then I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. Oh, oh my goodness. Did you hide it, Anthony? Yeah. Well, then there you go. What can I say? Um, it's down for me. Just post the question again, sweetie. All right, let me show you this dance video. Hold on. Oh my God! Wait. Hopefully, let's try not to get a copyright today, if we can. This was the rest of that video. I can't really show it. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, hold on. This is my Instagram. Pause. That's my wireless. Hold on. It's not easy doing this. My God. It's not easy. All right, let's see. Let's go here. And then let's go here. Let's pause. Oh my God. Not me hiding my own thing. Hold on, you guys. The struggle is real. YouTube blocked it. Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to do right. Hold on. This is not easy. DrBeeSpeaks is my Instagram. So I'm going to show you the rest of this dance that you really couldn't see on. Exactly. Noodle, do not come up in here disrespecting Anthony, because I do not play about Anthony. I do not play. Noodle. I do not play about Anthony. I do not play about the mods. And the way that it works around here is that they have full discretion. You want me to play the video 777? I'm trying. He's not a clown, Noodle. Okay, everybody just get along. Let's be grown-ups. And let me play this clip, this dance clip for you all, so I can give you the background on it. Because there is a background story. Okay, I'm gonna try. I thought it was like saved on my phone. But apparently, hold on, let me try to, this kind of looks funny. I don't know why it won't let me play it for you all. It's kind of, almost like it's just stuck. Hey, Jay. Okay, oh, you catch it on IG. My IG is private too. But well, there's no reason to hate Don Dada. It's just that sometimes the stuff that goes on here, like sometimes the mods have to be protective because, you know, there are crazy people out there. Okay, all right. So you guys get the gist of it, right? Okay, so let's watch it. I'm gonna tell you where this comes from. Anthony, I'm not mad at you. I don't step on my mod's toes. By the time I was done dancing this dance, I had to lay down. I danced it twice. And it comes from, so back in 2020, all right, how do I say this without putting anybody on blast? Let's just say back in 2020, I was leaving. No, I don't think I'm going to dance today. Yesterday, I kind of got it out of my system, but I was leaving this relationship that had turned more into like a business, more so than a relationship. It was more platonic than it was romantic. And Anthony, hey, I trust you. Is that right? Okay. How old is your daughter? Um, but yeah, so I was leaving this relationship. It became more platonic than it was romantic, and a new love was entering my life, and I could feel the energy of, yeah, we can dance. Can you dance 777? I was feeling the energy of new love. Oh, she's 15. Oh, she's a baby. Okay. What kind of dance does she like to do? And so I remember must have been, I think I was smoking a bowl. And then this song came up on my playlist, and then it was just impromptu, and I started dancing to it. I was feeling the energy. Oh, your ex was Dominican. Oh, nice. Do you bachata? I'm just curious. I want to go to the Dominican to learn bachata over there. I mean, like where it originates from. I got a nasty bachata, but I need to learn the original. Anyway, so the dance came from that impromptu feeling of this new love entering my life. And so it was very beautiful and sensual. Now, this time, oh, yeah, I believe that. I believe that. I mean, there's a whole history there. There's a whole history there, which is interesting, you know. But that's a story for another day. Um, but yeah. Hmm. So when I did this impromptu dance the other day, and the energy was coming from the lover who recently left my life, movie, in that he went back to um, the state that he came from. And so the energy was very much so a sense of gratitude for the love that he brought, the bliss that he, you know, shared, and his energy. See, when I dance, it's like, you know, dance is a form of, for me, is a form of using words without using words. I feel like there are things that, there are feelings that are beyond words that only the body can communicate, you see. Um, it's like allowing your body to speak. I love dancing. By the time I was done with that dance, because I did it twice, um, I was like sweating. I was shaking. I had to lay down, probably because I didn't really eat much, and I danced my whole heart out. I've been in multiple dance companies. For those of you who don't know, I started my dancing life in my mother's womb. My mother, when she was pregnant with me, she was in modern dance at the time, and she thought that she was going to get kicked out of whatever dance group she was in because she got pregnant. But yeah, so I was in the belly of a dancer. So when I came out, it took me a long time to learn how to walk, you know, with flat feet. I was already on my toes. I was already in the energy of dance early on in my life movie. And so it's always been a part of me. And then I went from that to going to this dance camp. Yeah, I was listening to music from the womb. My mother was playing classical music for me when I was in her womb, you know, which is why one of my favorite classical pieces is Pachelbel in Canon D major. So it's just been a part of music, classical music, dance, art. You know, when my mother was growing up, she wanted to play the violin. My mother was a, a woman who was already like in the chorus. She was singing. My mother was like doing classical American music. I grew up listening to Barbara Streisand. My mother was doing karaoke. You know, she was in this musical group and they were playing the piano, and it was like, I grew up in Wisconsin. It was different. It was so different. And so, you know, I remember going to my first dance camp and they were teaching us everything. Like they threw the kitchen sink at us. So we were learning ballet and we were learning modern and we were learning African and we were learning everything. We were even getting into acting and this and that. And my instructor's name was the Lee Palmer. And so he would say over and over, do it again, do it. He would say, do it again, not do it again, do it again, do it again. And I was picking up all these different French words, these ballet terms, you know, all of these things when I was a teenager. What you say, Anthony? Yeah, I mean, if YouTube blocks a message, YouTube blocks a message. What? Who said, sweetie? Lee Palmer would say, "Do it again." This is back in the day. Like they would have us in push-up position. They would have us mandatory 15 push-ups if we said the word you know, they had us doing this our splits, like forcing our splits on the wall. I don't know if you guys know what that looks like, but basically you push your butt against the wall, your legs eventually fall because of gravity, and you end up forcing your splits. They were training us like we were in the fucking military, and we were just kids. We were just kids. It was a whole journey, you know. But with dance comes that discipline, discipline. So then I, you know, would start taking the ballet classes and all of that, and then, you know, then I was dancing for my church, and then all of that, and then I was teaching the youth how to, you know, do certain dances, like liturgical dances, and then it went from that to joining this Christian dance company at the time called Rhema Dance, which is kind of funny because it's funny for a lot of reasons. But well, I'll tell you a story. So I remember one time we did a show, and we used to do dance concerts and all kinds of things, but we did this show at the church, and it was like, baby, let me tell you. Thank you. I can make the sexual comments, Anthony. Well, that's interesting. I guess full moon energy is in the air. I suppose so. My period's coming up. You know, women are sexier during that time of the month. Strippers who are on their period, I was reading this, make more money than strippers who are not on their period. It's funny. But anyway, so I remember one time we were called to do this performance at this church, and I remember Are they really nasty, Anthony? Oh my gosh. I'm okay. I can't see any of these things. It's very interesting. I don't know why that is. Must be something in the water, Anthony. You think so? I don't know. It's craziness. Um, but anyway, so I remember we were doing this dance, and it was must have been a part where it was just like interpretive movement, and in my spirit, I was feeling like I was in the energy of Mary Magdalene, and I didn't have my locks back then. I don't know what kind of hairstyle I had. I think I was natural though, but it was like I was washing his feet with my tears, poured out the oil from my alabaster box. That was the energy that I was dancing in. And then I remember one of the ladies, like the main lady, the artistic director in the dance company, she was like, "Oh my gosh, they were saying that you were dancing like a prostitute," which is kind of funny because I mean, I was in the energy of Mary Magdalene. You know what I know now? Oh my gosh, they were saying that you were dancing like a prostitute and this and that. And it was very interesting, that type of feedback. Very interesting. So yeah, I did the Rama Dance Company. Also, another thing that is kind of okay, things that make you go, hmm. So some of these people, like my church folks, are still on my Facebook page, so they have seen me. Exactly, Anthony, because you're a wonderful moderator. They have seen me progress. I suppose you would call it I would call it a progression. And I wonder what they think. But then again, I don't, because who gives a fuck? What I'm saying is, like, I did the liturgical dancing and all that, and then now you see me, you know. So now you see me and my whole ass, and I'm sure there are people who wonder, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? But it's just me being a free spirit, and unlimited. I get it. I get how it might shock people, but at the same time, I feel like we are meant to evolve, and sometimes your evolution may not look comfortable for someone else. So, you know. Hey, Andre, how are you, sweetie? And so, yeah, and then I joined this other dance company. It was the West African Dance Company. My instructor was from Sierra Leone, and it was Kofi. And so we learned like Manjani, we learned Lamban, we learned Kuku, we learned all kinds of dances. There was a whole repertoire, if you will, just like Rama Dance had its whole repertoire. In Rama Dance, we learned, of course, we did ballet, we did modern, you know, all of that. And then at one point, when I first became a college professor, they wanted me to teach dance, like the school. And so at the time, I had been reading, I think I was reading some dance book that explored all of these great dancers that some of them were lesser known, and some of them hadn't really, they were still receiving their flowers. And so, I was introducing them to like Alvin Ailey and I guess I can't remember like the names of all of these people. Oh wow, did you see that glitch? It's crazy. Mm. Thank you. 2063. So yeah, and so we were studying. I don't know if you guys, if you are a dancer, and you're interested in that type of thing, I highly recommend that you watch Alvin Ailey's Revelation, that whole dance piece. I was introduced to that when I was just a kid, you know, because we used to go to the library. And yeah, I've been a dancer all my life. So when you ask me about the different, thank you, the different dance styles that I've been involved with, hip hop is not my favorite. It's just not. It's just not. Never was. It's just not. Hip hop is not my favorite dance genre. I enjoy watching it. I'm just not good at it. I'm just not. I'm not good at it. You know, maybe I was good maybe at some 90s hip hop. You know, we did a show, I remember one time, one dance company, and it was like a progression from different dance decades. You love watch. I love watching dance too. I love watching dance too. But yeah, so the dance styles vary. I've been trained in some ballet. I've been trained in some modern. I've been trained in some liturgical. I've been trained in some belly dancing. I've been trained in some Latin, including bachata, including salsa, including mambo. Mambo is a nasty energy in a good way. Mambo is salsa, but it's on a different count. Mambo is salsa, but it's grittier. It's more like, I swear, it's it's got more of a African type, you know, vibe. It has an attitude. Mambo has an attitude. And so thank you, Anthony. And so yeah, I love mambo, but just like most genres, mambo is hard for me. Like anytime I'm picking up a new dance, oftentimes it's hard for me. West African was very hard for me because I was coming from a ballet mind frame. And so being West African is on the downbeat, and I was like, what? So you know what I mean? Like there's a rebound to it. I had to learn that. You know, mambo, like I said, is on a different count. I had to learn that before mambo. I don't know. Why do you think our paths crossed? That's a good question for you to answer for me. But yeah, I had to learn salsa. At first, I didn't understand salsa. My mother's AC filters. You're so funny. You mean my parents' AC filters? Is that what you mean? My parents have central air, so I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. They have central air and they own their own property and their land. So I'm not sure about that. But you might want to check up on um, your mother's things. I wouldn't be so concerned about what my parents are doing. Doesn't even make sense. But anyway, you guys, so yeah. Oh, thank you. 2063. Okay. Okay, well that's nice. Thank you. It's random for someone to talk about a filter, especially when the conversation is actually about um, dance, but okay. Um, I realize it's challenging for people to focus on the conversation at hand. I get it. I get it. And then sometimes people just want to be seen. We all want to be seen. Right. Right, Anthony. You know, I think sometimes people are just people try to be funny, and it just sometimes it fails. And social media has trained people to, some people, to be rude and to be disrespectful. And that, for some reason, is considered the norm. I don't think your thoughts belong to you per se. I think your thoughts are just um, a collection of jibber jabber. You are not your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. We talk about that. So I think that's a great question, actually. I think that's a great question. You know, I am not my thoughts. Just like I am not my skin suit. Just like I am not anything that I have done. You know, I had this really interesting conversation today with my neighbor. My brand, I, okay, first of all, let me be clear. I am, I am um, beyond a brand, and I'm not here for the business side of YouTube, because if I was, then I feel like I would be on that grind. You know what I mean? I would feel like, oh, I have to put out videos every day, and I have to go live whether or not I feel like it, and forget taking any type of break, and we need to get our numbers up, and we need to, there's nothing wrong with that. But let me show you. But I'm just not in that energy. Let me show you what I mean. So the other day, okay, you see this? This tells you, like, first of all, I'm not monetized. It says I have 904 qualified watch hours. The other day, I swear it was probably closer to 1,500. Now it's at 900. What you say, 2063? Oh my gosh, isn't it a beautiful thing when two people come together and you just get it? You just get it. Like, it's not difficult. There is no arguing. There is no debate. There is no, you know, like ego tripping. You know, isn't it beautiful when you can have that? But yeah, so back to what you were saying, Noodle. Yeah, I'm not on um, YouTube for business, and I'm not on YouTube to brand myself. As a matter of fact, I'm retired, truth be told. So I don't really have to impress anybody, and I'm not here to impress anybody. What I am attempting to do is live out my own truth the best way that I can, and show up on YouTube, I suppose, when I feel like it. So there really isn't a brand to protect. Back in the day when I did have a brand, it was called Expect Effing More. That was kind of like my concept. Your thoughts are a quiet storm that oh, you're so cute. 2063. Are you a lover? I'm sensing that you're a lover. How many of you in the audience are lovers? But yeah, it's not about business. It's not about business for me. It used to be, like, not necessarily YouTube, and maybe sometimes it was, but now I'm just focused on being, you know, and sharing my challenges, sharing bits of my world, sharing what I deem to be successful, and just being a whole human being. And just happen to be a whole human being on camera, which is not easy, because God knows Hey, Cannon. It's not easy. Social media is a beast. It's a beast because people are batshit crazy. Speaking of batshit crazy, let's light an incense, you guys. Let me take you over to the table. Finally, the sun is going down. What you say? We're just chapters in a vast book, and I'm glad our paths. Oh, me too. Me too. Let's come over here. Okay, welcome. Let's pick what incense we're going to light. I have so many. Patchouli, sandalwood. I haven't opened this lavender yet. Lavender, positive vibes is like one of my favorites. So I don't have a whole lot of incense left with the positive vibes. And then this one smells really good too. Ooh, yeah, it's kind of strong, but it's good. And then I haven't opened up this one. Oh, okay, Noodle, pick what incense we should use. Let me know. And we'll go ahead and we'll light that one. We'll light that one. But yeah, I'm so glad you guys are here. I know I said I was going to take a break, and rest assured, I will go back to taking a break. It's just, I'm not even going to lie, you guys. I missed you guys so much. I just missed you. I just missed talking to you, and I missed showing up, and I missed laughing with you, and I missed going back and forth with you. Hey Brian, how are you? We're getting ready to pick an incense. We're just waiting on Noodle to pick it, and then we're gonna light that shit up. We're gonna light it up. For those of you who don't know, I need some lotion on my elbows. I gotta tinkle too, y'all. Let me know what incense we're gonna do. I have to tinkle, and I have to go put some lotion on my elbows. So there's that. Okay, let me grab my oil. And then let me put this on. Thank you. Hold on. Let me grease up my lips. Grease them up. And my hands. Oh, I need to grab my coffee too. Again. All right. Natural woman here. Natural. Please understand. Natural. Baby. 46, baby. Hold on. Well, I guess I really can't say natural, huh? Because I dyed my hair. You might be Wendy. Welcome. If you're the only one here, then great. Welcome. For me, it's not about the numbers. Thank you, Wendy. It's not about the numbers, Wendy. It's quality over quantity. This is definitely not a business venture. What you say? Light it up like sativa. Baby powder. I don't have that incense. Okay, I guess Noodle is not going to pick our incense. I love you too. Is it Suge? I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to pick positive vibes. Because, yeah, that's what we're all about. Positive vibes. And then I'm going to show you my incense holder. Let me clean it up a little bit so it doesn't look too crazy. But here it is. I'm from Wisconsin. Wisconsin. I'm from Wisconsin. Shout out to Wisconsin. I remember many moons ago, there was this YouTuber. I don't know what her name was, but oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. She had these long, free-form locks and these beautiful brown eyes, and she was just a whole goddess. And I remember, I'm pretty sure, I know my hair was natural at the time. I don't think I had locks just yet. Maybe I did. But anyway, she was such an inspiration to me as a natural woman. She was just beautiful, and she just radiated this. Put oil on my. I was in the pool, so I'm ashy. She just radiated this sense of confidence, and she radiated this sense of goddess, and I was just like, oh my god, this lady, this lady, she's beautiful. I wonder whatever happened to her. You know how you meet someone or you see someone that inspires you to be more of yourself? You know, it's powerful. It's powerful. I grew up in a time where I had to learn, and I'm still learning how to fully love all of me and feel like you're enough, because I'll tell you, the 80s was a whole nother time to grow up in. Oh, thank you. It was a whole nother time to grow up in. I always tell people, like, in the 80s, we had to have self-esteem for real. Back then, we just did. It was rough. It was rough. You know, I went to anyway. I went to school, a predominantly uh, white folks school. Positive vibes is amazing. I wish you guys could smell it, but it is absolutely amazing. But yeah, you guys. So at the school that I went to was like, in some ways, in some cases, you felt like you weren't black enough for the couple black people that did go there, and then you weren't white enough. It was predominantly white for the white folks that went to the school too, and so I had to find my way, you know, and I had to work on my self-esteem, and I feel like that's something that I know that I'm still working on as a human being. You know, at one point in time, I didn't like my hair, and at one point in time I didn't like my lips, and at one point in time I didn't like this and I didn't like that. You know, I remember when I first, before I went natural, I was asking myself, why do I feel like I can't go natural? And I had to do some soul searching, and it came down to the shame that I had regarding my natural hair. Which is interesting, you know, because what you see before you now is a completely different person, but that's because I had to get to the root of why, why I didn't feel like I was enough in the first place. And let me tell you, I think that's something that we all go through. Mm-hmm. So don't beat yourself up for wherever you are in your life movie is what I want to tell you. Everybody has certain things that they're working through. We're all doing the best that we can with the level of consciousness that we have. And it's a journey. It's a journey, you know. This is why I say there's no judgment. There's no judgment. And it's important that I reiterate that, because I feel like we judge ourselves often. You know, we're our worst critics. We're our worst critics. So, but yeah, you guys, I just wanted to come on here. I really didn't have any topic. I just wanted to tell you how much I missed you. Which I know sounds crazy. How do you even miss us? You didn't even know us. But it's just that, you know, that feeling of part of it is being on autopilot, which is not good because, again, being on autopilot, you're just, you're doing what you're used to doing. But then there's another part that is like, you know, that connection, that connection. But the reality of the situation is we are never truly disconnected. And social media gives us this false, truth be told, this false sense of connection sometimes. But the reality, like I said, is all things are one. So if all things are truly one, then you're not separate. You know, whether or not I'm online, you know, there's still a string connecting us all. You know, it's crazy because you spend time online and it doesn't matter whether you go to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere you go, you see people being mean to each other in different ways, shapes, or forms. Usually it's like in the comments, you know. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody is struggling for this sense of I'm smarter than you, I know more than you, I know better than you, you know, I'm more righteous than you, I'm more holy than you, I'm more spiritual than you. And it's kind of crazy to me. And that's the part about social media that sometimes makes me just want to go into this like a turtle shell, if you will, a turtle shell, you know. Or as I was saying, I think it looks like I have my hair, but it's not. You know, it looks like that. You know what I mean? Social media have you all paranoid, like, oh my god. But anyway, just like I was saying on my last live when we were reading our book, which I need to get back to that book. I haven't picked it up since our last live, which I know, shame on me. But anyway, people who are saying, you know, that they don't relate to other people and they feel like they can't be around other people. So then there's this sense of, again, that self-righteousness, but it's masqueraded as a deep spiritual person. Like you're so deep spiritually that you can't be around other people. And this just doesn't make sense. I mean, okay, so I get it, but then at the same time, I don't get it because I get it because okay, in one layer, you've become spiritually aware that you can see the bullshit. Fine. But then same too, you've become spiritually aware that you could see the bullshit. So if you can see the bullshit, then that also brings about a sense of compassion. Does it not? Which is also a spiritual awakening. Spiritual awakening, in my opinion, leads you to a place beyond you feeling like you can't deal with people. Understand that that might be one level, but if you go deeper and deeper and deeper, you know, you realize that you're creating your reality and everyone in it. Now, I understand that this kind of talk, first of all, it's only going to be interesting to you if it is. My channel is unique in that I don't expect it to jive with everyone because it's just not. And I'm not here to pick up fans. I'm just not. Because why? I'm just here to be myself, or at least strive to be myself on camera. And that's it. That's the unsexy reality of the situation. And you know, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. You know, these are just some random thoughts that I have as I stare out at this beautiful pink tree. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Look at my mess. I got a mess going on in here. And, you know, just some random reflections. I'm getting ready to heat up some chicken. My neighbor is making spaghetti. And I'm sure it'll be tasty. I know it won't be like my mother's spaghetti. My mother, in my opinion, I know I have a bias, but my mother makes really good spaghetti. But I'm grateful that my neighbor invited me over for dinner. Hey, Synthetic. I just wish the world was a more kind place in general. I was also watching this thing on Facebook about this lady who I don't know from Adam, but she's escaping this abusive relationship. And apparently, you know, she was in a high profile social media relationship, with this guy who was supposed to be conscious. And allegedly, she was dealing with all kinds of abuse, and he broke her tooth and this and that, and you know, and he was really conscious in this community and saying how the man needs to do this and that for the woman, which is fine. Everybody has their own philosophy of what they think a man needs to do. But basically, it's just like, and then all of a sudden, you know, it comes out that this person is abusive. It's just really interesting. There's so much abuse that happens on this planet. So many people are misusing one another and just practicing being unkind. And then also today I heard that Miss Dolly Parton, that she transitioned, and rest in peace to the ancestor Dolly Parton. Rest in peace to her. But the first post that I saw about her transitioning was on this social media Facebook post, and you know, somebody was like, rest in peace Dolly Parton, you will be missed. And then somebody underneath it was like, she was really a man and this and that. And I'm just like, and where have we gone in general as a society when we can't even respect and mourn and be at a place of awareness when someone has transitioned, to know how to hold our tongue, so to speak? Let me put this incense out because it's pretty strong. You know, where we feel like this is the right time for me to throw in my 2 cents about how I felt about the lady's political views, or how I felt about the it's just like, And I don't know why we live in a world where everyone feels like they're right and they need to tell you that they're right. Just like just like I was telling a story to my neighbor, and I was telling my neighbor I felt like I had to do this for myself. And I was talking about a deep subject for me. Yeah. On this thing, it looks like my eyes are all over the place because the camera, who knows where the camera is on my iPad. But anyway, so, they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. But anyway, I was telling my neighbor this story, and I must have used the words, I had to do this for myself. And she kept telling me, no, you chose to do it for yourself. You chose to do it. And I was like, well, I had to. She's like, no, it's more empowering for you to say, I chose to. Yeah, I do have a cat around here. His name is Romeo. Um, and it was just like, I said, okay, I hear you. Because I'm not about to argue with folks about my own words and how I choose to express myself. But I just thought, because I thought about it today, even though it happened the other day, I thought to myself, like, wow, people really they have this sense of having to be right. Even when it comes to you talking about your shit. And thank you, 2063. Even when it comes to you sharing a story about your life movie, somebody in real time is coming in to correct your words and how you articulate your life. It's crazy. It's crazy. And you know what I think it is? I'm gonna tell you what I think it is. It's insecurity. That's what it is. It's insecurity. Is it Eunice? Okay. Is it glitchy? I'm sorry to hear that. I wonder why that is. Well, I'm sorry that the YouTube is glitchy. Hmm. I don't know why that is. Oh. Let me know if it's still glitchy. Let me know if it's still glitchy because that might just be my sign to go and put my toes in the water at the pool and just be still, and wait for the spaghetti to finish cooking, you know. But yeah, I apologize for not calling you your name, you know. But that goes back to, oh, thank you, synthetic. Just let me know if it's too glitchy because then I could, go ahead and log on off maybe. Synthetic, you're funny. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes people get upset when I don't call them by their name, and I don't know. Your names are familiar to you because you created them, and also too, um, for any of us just to be acknowledged, period, in the room, that's the true blessing. That's the true blessing to be seen, in the first place. I had a mentor. His name is Dr. Jampa, little Asian man. And I say that because it's applicable to the story. He would have people, talking to him. They thought that he couldn't understand English, and he just go with it. He'd have people pronouncing his name wrong all the time, and he would just go with it. I respect that. I respect that in Morocco names are important. I get that. Um, I get it. You know, different cultures, different. What you say, synthetic? Right, right. You just want me to call you the right name in the room. You understand? But yeah, different cultures, different um, realities. I understand that and I respect that. Hey, 6350, how are you? Welcome. I've been doing well. How are you? I just decided to pop on in because I missed you guys. And so I just wanted to show my face. But yeah, my mentor all the time, people would mispronounce his name. And then my full government name, like people always mispronounce my name. Always mispronounce my name. I have a mentor who is Haitian, and she's very particular about how people say her name, which is why she tells them, "Hey, synthetic." She tells them, "Just call me Dr. C." And her name is Dr. Carol, but the way that you pronounce it is Carol, and people will see it and say Carol, and she's like, "What? Just call me Dr. C, because my name is not Dr. Carol." So I get it. I get it. But I'm like my other mentor, like the Dr. Jumpa. Hey, Stan, just call me, baby. Just call me. I'm honored that you called me. I don't get caught up in the name. I don't get caught up in the name. I just don't. You know why? For me, it just, I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter. I know my grandmother's name means a lot to me. People butcher it all the time. I have her name. you know, what matters is realizing, for me, my 2 cents, for what it's worth, is reminding myself that I am the nothingness. I am not my name. I am not my skin suit. Do these things matter? Of course. I am not anything that I've done. I'm not the arguments that I have because as a human being, you know, seems like the ego is always arguing with somebody about something. Like there is no rest. There's no rest. People's egos are just on a mission to keep them miserable and to keep them constantly bickering and constantly unhappy. It's crazy to me. I don't get that. I don't get that. But yeah, neighbor felt the need to tell me that basically, no, it's not that you chose, or it's not that you had to, it's that you chose. And I just, like I said, I wasn't going back and forth. Oh, that's okay. 6350. That's okay. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, you guys, I haven't been doing anything, and there are some things that I actually need to do, would like to do, need to write it down in my book so that it actually gets done. But yeah, I've been very relaxed and very, I guess, sitting with the void of um, just sitting with the void of being with myself and being in my own energy, just like I was at this other place that I lived. I spent a lot of time with myself, and there's something that is challenging and healing about it. Raise my voice a little bit. Hey, Marsha. Marsha, how you doing, sweetie? Can you hear me now? Also, is my iPad turned up? Let me turn it up too. How's that? I hope that's better. Is it better? Okay. Yeah, guys. Y'all, does anybody else have a social media here? Do you do videos? Do you go live? If not, why not? Oh, it's okay? Okay. I'm just chilling, Marshall, so you know. My voice, I don't have a loud voice in general unless I'm cackling. Unless I'm cackling with my girlfriends. But in general, I don't have a loud voice. I just don't. I just don't. When I was in the police department, I had to learn how to yell. I look tired. Well, thank you. Thank you, Marsha. That's a very sweet thing for you to say. It's a very sweet thing for you to say. Right, cackling. Thank you, Marsha. If I ever want any words of, um, how do I say? If I ever want any compliments, I know where to go to get them. Thank you, Marsha. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, 583, how are you? Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, I didn't come on here for people to tell me how tired I look. I do appreciate that though. Um, you think I need some rest? Oh, thank you, Marsha. What else do you? What else, Marsha? What else do you think? What else do you think? I know you said my volume was low. You said I look tired. You think I need some rest. What do you need? What do you need? Do you know what you need? Or are you just aware of what other people need? Um, do I fast? Oh, you're on day 7 of water fast. Is that right? Congratulations to you. I used to fast from food all the time. Hey, 798. And I don't do that anymore. Yeah, I don't fast like that anymore. Hey Rocket, how are you, sweet pea? But I'm glad to hear that it's going well. Take a 2 hour power nap. Yeah, I might take a 2 hour power nap, but maybe after I eat. Maybe after I eat. But am I tired? Yeah, I'm a little tired. I didn't get my full 8 hours. Very nice. I'm proud of you for doing 2 days. But you guys who are so concerned with my rest, are you equally concerned with your rest? I hope so. Nice. Okay, so you feel like you've been getting some clarity from it. Good for you. It's interesting because the full moon is coming up. It is coming up. 63, 6350. Eve, these people are something else today, are they not? Are they not? I know what I mean. You're here to make your viewers happy, and we don't take that for granted. Well, let me tell you something. Um, I'm not really here to make you happy because if you've been on this channel long enough, then you know that we've been studying yoga, science of the soul. Is that right? Yeah, the full moon is coming up in the next couple of days, sweet pea. How long are you going to do your fast? And in yoga, science of the soul, it talks about how your bliss comes from yourself. Like it's not an external thing, it's an internal thing. So truth be told, what I'm saying essentially is that I cannot make you anything. Only you can decide whether or not you want to be happy. So therefore, I'm not here to make anybody happy. Actually, on the contrary, you know. So I don't. So let's just make that clear. Me getting extra rest, that makes me happy. Would you perhaps be the recipient of some of that happiness? Oh, absolutely. But, you know, I just also think that, um, as I was saying earlier, there's a certain politeness and etiquette that has disappeared in in the world of social media, where people feel like they can just come on and say anything. And it's crazy to me because I was raised in the 80s where you could get knocked the fuck out for coming incorrect in real life. So it baffles me. Oh, nice. Okay, so you want to share some of your revelations that you've had, Sweet Pea? So yeah, it baffles me. Yeah, thank you, Eve. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. I'm so glad that somebody is actually grateful and can appreciate somebody else's time instead of coming on my shit, okay? Coming on my shit. I didn't invite you. Let me be clear. Let's go here for a second. First of all, let me put this rose quartz there. That's Grace. I didn't invite you on my shit. Okay, all right, Marshall. So the fact that any one of us is here, living and breathing on this planet, is called grace. And so we're coming in the energy of gratitude. And when you're coming in the energy of gratitude, it's not about pointing out everything that you think is wrong. Because because it sounds to me that the vision needs to be fixed. I know, for example, when I go over by my neighbor's house and I eat spaghetti, even if it's not like my mother's spaghetti, I'm not going to be like, you know what? You need to add some sausages. You need to, where's the Parmesan cheese, bitch? I mean, you know what I mean? I'm just going to be grateful. And I think that's part of what we're missing in general as human beings. Also, when we go on people's lives, because at the end of the day, somebody is sharing their time and their energy with you, and you might not think it means a damn thing, yet it does. Your energy matters, my energy matters, our energy, it matters. And if you're going to pour your energy into something, why not see through the eyes of gratitude? Come bringing gifts. Back in the day, when somebody invited you somewhere, thank you, Eve. When somebody invited you somewhere, you brought gifts. You brought gratitude. You didn't bring complaints. But I don't even understand. The reason why some of your abundance is blocked is because you're seeing with the mindset of scarcity in the first place. You're focused on what's wrong, what you think is wrong. And whatever you're focused on expands. And this is why some people are so miserable, because all you see is what's wrong. And you want to call it consciousness. Child. There's levels to this. Okay, now I gotta put this incense out again. It gets strong, you guys. Gratitude opens the door. It opens the door. And it starts with appreciation, true appreciation in everything. I'm grateful for this cup of coffee. I'm grateful for where I live. I'm grateful for this table. I'm grateful for these incense. I'm grateful for this time that we get to spend together with this technology that didn't exist in the 80s. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. It's about the energy of abundance and seeing what you already have that's working and channeling in more of that. You know, too many of us, we see nothing but what's missing. We already know some shit is missing. But also, what about the things that are already here, the things that we take for granted? Especially each other. Y'all, we take each other for granted. We take each other for granted. But thank you, Anthony. We take each other for granted. And it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Oh, dinner's at 7. Yeah, it's little things that matter. But sometimes we just have to fix our vision. How did I do what? And you know, I had a text message coming through, so that might have did something. I don't know what happened. Yeah, all of it. You know how? Through the energy of the rose quartz. Because rose quartz is a heart chakra opening crystal. Even though one of the colors associated with the heart chakra is green and the rose quartz is pink, there's still a softening. A softening. A softening. And to realize that people come on this channel from, of course, all walks of life. They have their own perspective. There is no right or wrong. I tell you that all the time. Yet, if the heart is open, then perhaps the message can land. It can land. Hey, Mr. Diggs. How are you? What time is it, you guys? Let me get my phone real quick because I don't want to miss dinner. Because you know I'm hungry. Hungry. What time? Oh my gosh. Oh, my phone is updating. What a time for my phone to update. Are you already glued here? Well, I'm glad. Okay, what'd you say? Say what just needed to be said about the state of user engagement. It was just on a whim, but so on point with, yeah. I just thank the ancestors for that because let me tell you, I am only a vessel, only a vessel, only a vessel. And the wisdom, 2115, is that 915? Oh my, okay. All right, I don't know what time it is. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. And look at this. But yeah, it's the energy of the ancestors. I can't take any credit for it. and I won't. The ancestors are the ones who give wisdom. We ask for wisdom, we receive wisdom. It's activated within us. Wisdom comes from sitting and being still. And let me tell you, it's a whole practice in itself. I know, Anthony. I know. I went through this earlier on my live. Why I even have this? Well, you know, y'all already know. But yeah, I went out with my friends and they bought me a bag of dicks, and so yeah, and so that was in the bag. So funny, so funny. People have no sense, but I'm here for the shenanigans. But yeah, did you miss that? Isn't it cute? I know. Why, B? Why? I have something else too. Let me see if I can get it. It's funny. It's so funny. I can't. I showed this earlier when I initially got it in the video. I'm going to give this to my neighbor. She doesn't know that I'm going to give it to her, but I'm going to let her have this, and she is going to fall on the floor. Woo! Without a sense of humor, where are we? Where are we? Without a sense of humor, we take ourselves too serious, you know, and we're miserable, and then we just die. And then what's the fun in that? You know what I mean? Like, for what? We came here. You mean to tell me we can't laugh? Oh, that's crazy. What's the fun in it? But yeah, you know, I have learned quite a bit, which is nothing, sitting in the energy of the ancestors. Sometimes you just observe. Thank you, Anthony. You know it's crazy. Sometimes you just observe and you just watch and be a witness. I remember when I was in the church world, same thing, you know, going on in the church world. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be seen. I can't tell you where I'm based, but I'm from Wisconsin. And I remember one time I was sitting behind this lady, and you know, everybody has a title, like I'm a this and I'm a that, and yeah, okay. At one point in time, I had a title in the church too, but I wasn't my title. It wasn't about my title. Okay. So I was sitting behind this lady, and she turned all the way around. I don't know this lady from Adam, and she goes, "What do you do?" Because I guess she expected me to like run down my title, my credentials, and like prove that I was fucking worthy. Thank you, Anthony. It's another thing the old folks say: let somebody else talk about you. Let somebody else. I know it's contrast, but anyway, I told the lady, I watch. That's what I do. I watch. And I looked at her, and she turned her ass right back around. Oh yes, she did. Because there's nothing more that needs to be said. The ancestors are not respecter. They're not respecter of persons. They don't give a hot, buttery damn. It's not about your ego. It's not about. It's just not. That's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. you get too far deep into that, you lose the whole. You lose the whole. You know, it's just that comes from us as human beings always clinging to what makes us feel superior. Yeah. And you see it in multiple ways. You see it in the natural hair community. You see it in the vegan community. You see it in the gun rights community. You see it everywhere. People who are, and it's not everybody in these communities, I'm just saying in general, people who are always trying to be right, convince you that they are right and that you are wrong. It's one thing to have a mindset and a system that works for you. It's another thing to try to convince people that your way is the only way and that's the fucking way that they need to be going. Because you're going that way. So it has to be right. You know, which to me is absurd. This is my opinion. I feel like everyone has their own path. And like I always say, if you were to walk a mile in a man's shoes, then you would, it's a cute pillow, random, then you would think and you would act as that man. You know, like you are no different from them. And I'm going to turn off my fan because I get a sore throat sometimes when I have the fan blowing. I know. It's hard being a human. Let me turn this off. You know. And it's so easy to judge. It's just too easy. Yeah. Eve, it's just hard being a human. It's hard being a human. It's too easy to judge. It's hard being a human. You know. I have a friend that I know is in an abusive relationship. I know it could be very challenging. And there's nothing I can do about it. Nothing I could do about it. I sent her a text message. I knew. I knew. I knew from the beginning. I knew when I saw the evidence. I knew. I never cared for the guy. I already knew. She left him or stopped talking to him for a period when some shit went down. And I told her at that point, yeah, Marsha, please join us. Yeah, I did check the time, Anthony. I had some time. Thank you for reminding me. Um, some shit went down. She stopped talking to him for a bit. And lo and behold, I told her, I said, sometimes these relationships are hard to leave. And I understand that. No, it's going to be easy for me to leave and this and this and that. I'm already, gone. And the moment that I exited stage left because I ended up leaving her place, the person, I'm sure, had already seen it as an opportunity. She was still communicating with the man here. And it's just like, there's nothing you can do. It's a couple things that I have come to realize in my small 46 years so far. Spaghetti tonight, Rocket. What you eat? In my small 46 years of being on this planet, you can't tell people what to do. You can't tell people what to do because they're not going to listen to you no way. You can't. The only thing you can do is be there when they need help and support. That's all you can do. And I sent her a text message the other day because I know she's in a relationship. I know she's still with this man, even though she don't want to talk to me about it, which is fine because it's not my business. I said something like, it was a long paragraph, but basically it was like, I understand, that you're still talking to this person, that you're still with this person. What did I say? Hold on. I'm gonna tell you what I said verbatim. Since I got time, cuz. Hold on. Let my neighbor know that I'll be over for dinner. Um, should be fun. Let's see. What did I tell that lady? What did I tell that lady? Okay, I said, super cute picture she sent me. I said, I wanted to tell you because I'm your friend and I love you deeply, regardless of whether you are with XYZ is your business. But I need to tell you as a friend, I am fiercely protective of you. That means that. It'd be nice. It's because there's so much greenery over here. Fiercely protective of you, goddess, and all you have to do is say the word. Just say the word. Just say the word. No relationship will ever be able to change that. I support you regardless of where you are in your life journey. There is no judgment. Only understanding a woman's heart is complicated. And I know that. I know that. I'm a woman. I will be here for you while you stay and when you eventually have the strength to go. And I understand. I'm telling you, in a New York minute. And she just said, thank you. I love you so much. Sometimes people just need to know that you're there for them and that it's okay. I mean, do I agree with any of the shit? Absolutely not. I think it's fucked up. Yeah, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. But again, like I said, you can't tell people what to do. They're not going to listen to you anyway. The only thing you can do as a friend is be a safe place, you know. But some things, those abusive relationships, what they do is they'll try to like isolate. Some of them will try to isolate you from your friends in the first place and try to get you to depend on them, which is kind of what's happening here, like this dependence. And I was talking on the phone with her the other day, and then she let it come out that, oh, well, the only reason why I'm talking to him is because of this, because of that, and it was financial, because of some shit. And I'm just like, it's just really, truly went in one ear and out the other, because I can't even talk to you about that because you're not going to listen no way. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Abusive relationships are mental and spiritual and psychological and sometimes physical. And it's just there's so many layers to it. And this is part of the reason why it's difficult for people to just leave because of these layers. And it's hard sometimes to stand by and watch the tomfoolery. I had one girlfriend who was in an abusive relationship, and it was crazy. It was really crazy. But we couldn't do anything about it but be there for her and just do our spiritual work and allow things to play out the way that they needed to play out, which fortunately, you know, um, she left. but I know it was hard. I know. I had a relationship with somebody that was crazy too. Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy being a human. It's not easy being a woman. And I imagine it's not easy. I can only imagine that it's not easy being a man as well. It's not easy being a human being on earth. Hey, George, how are you? So, yeah, you know, judgment is judgment is a problem in a lot of ways. It's an issue. It puts us on a pedestal and makes us feel righteous. Hey, Sullivan, makes us feel righteous, makes us feel like we're sitting higher and somebody else is sitting lower and we're superior. You know, when we say, you know, well, you're wrong or this and it's just, it's energy draining. It's energy draining. You don't have to agree with somebody's life path. You don't. You don't. But you also don't necessarily need to be judgmental. You just simply don't agree with it. There's a lot of things that I just don't fucking agree with. It's not my thing. But just like I told my neighbor today, hey, what you do is what you do. You know, as long as you're happy. You know, you're not hurting anybody. That's my thing. But, you know, that's my 2 cents. You know, if you hurt somebody, you have to deal with the consequences. You have to deal with the consequences of anything that you do. Most definitely. You know, and again, that's my 2 cents. When I say 2 cents, I mean my opinion. It's interesting though. I feel like this is wisdom that you learn from the ancestors. And for me, I learned by observing and watching. Same thing. And because I sit with a lot of elders who have done some shit, by the way, people who have done some amazing things, I sit and I observe, you know, as a student in a way, and I just listen. Because part of the blessing, in my opinion, is being able to sit and observe, especially if someone's had a fantastic life movie and you can be a witness to their story and listening to their story. I found as a writer that everyone has a story that they wish to tell. I found as a human that everyone wants to be heard, and people demonstrate that in multiple ways. Sometimes people demonstrate that through what we may consider constructive ways. Sometimes people may demonstrate that in what we may consider destructive ways, but they still demonstrate this desire to be heard. I think in general, as human beings, we struggle with this feeling of emptiness inside. And we're always trying to fill that emptiness with something, whether it be food or relationships or sex or fucking coffee, whether it be alcohol. Hey, Jack, whether it be cannabis, whether it be work, whether it be money. Hey, shout out to England. I'm feeling well. Thank you so much for asking me. How are you feeling? But yeah, so there is this sense of always trying to fill this, fill up this emptiness instead of sitting with it. I ask sometimes, people and myself, what does it feel like to sit in the void and allowing yourself to sit in the void? One thing that my neighbor said to me today, she's like, well, what are you going to do now? What'd you say, Anthony? What are you going to do now that, your two lovers, they're gone now? Yeah, put one on the plane. Well, I didn't put them on the plane, but I said goodbye. And did my beautiful dance in honor of the the beauty of the sacred moment ceremony. Um, we need to get you somebody. We need to. And I was like, I'm good. Like first of all, I'm selective. Second of all, I take my time. Well, it's not just gonna come to you. This lady don't know me from Adam. It's not just gonna come to you. But what she doesn't realize is, um, I don't have to chase things in order for them to materialize. If something is meant to be, then the ancestors will allow that thing to be. The ancestors would put me in sacred proximity of whatever it is. The ancestors will line up things like dominoes falling down. So I don't need to quickly fill in this space. And I think it's just her response was a reminder to me that I think, and I know that sometimes people feel like sitting in the void is not what you want to do. You want to fill that void. And there is a holiness that I've learned over time, finally, with sitting with the nothingness, because it is from the nothingness that all things come from. You don't have to be in a hurry to just grasp at whatever. And see, that to me can be an issue because no, in my framework, it's be still and know. Not, you know, fuck around and find out. It's be still and know. But again, there's no right or wrong. Everybody has their own path and their own, thing. For me, it is okay to be in that sacred space of not having a physical romantic love interest. It's okay. It's okay. I know that sounds weird, but it's okay. I enjoy, obviously, but also I enjoy the energy of being in the nothingness. And is it always easy? Hell no, it's not always easy. Yet I find that it's a birthing place. It's a birthing place. And I understand that people are quick, and I get it. I've spent my time being in many relationships in my life, you know. But it's not just about relationships. Hey, Lucky, how are you? Time is it? We got 20 minutes before dinner. It's not just about relationships, it's about filling that void up, period. And this is why I said to myself and I said to you all that it's important for me to take social media breaks so that I am properly sitting in that space of nothingness. But also, too, as we learned about in the book, we don't fight against what naturally comes up, because what naturally comes up is what it is. You know, we don't fight against the ego. We observe it. We don't fight. We're present wherever we are. However, it's important. It's important for me and my spiritual journey, which sounds deep, but it really isn't, to practice and become presence, which that is who we are. And I feel like I am practicing it in multiple ways, even by sitting and listening to someone that my mind might not even agree with what the fuck they're talking about. You know? Of course, the ego always wants to be right. But anyway, I'm getting ready to get ready for dinner. I'm going to throw on a dress and spray on some perfume. And go sit with my neighbor. I'm trying to think, is there anything? Oh yeah, I'm bringing her speaker because I don't want to go over there empty-handed. So I'm gonna bring her speaker. It's gonna be me, her, and her grandbaby who is 14 years old. So, you know, I connect really well with children. Hey, Lucky, I need to bring out that bathtub again. Mm. To be 100% with you all, I don't know if this channel will ever have a lot of followers or a lot of people on it. You know what I mean? Let me take a quick look at my statistics. Let's look. I just don't know if I don't think I just I don't know. I just don't know. Because first of all, I'm not trying. I'm not trying. I'm glad you're here, Lucky, and I'm glad you love it. I feel like the channel is just meant for a select group of weird, beautiful folks. You know, I feel like that's who the channel was meant for. I don't know if it will ever blow up, and it's okay if it doesn't, because I enjoy just being able to be myself. Exactly, Lucky. I enjoy being able to sit in front of you guys, you know, talking about absolutely nothing and drinking coffee. And every once in a while our conversations will deepen if we listen long enough. Then, you know, sometimes something is hit that needs to be hit. You know what I mean? Um, but truly, it's about being present. It's more so about being present than anything that could ever be said. It's about just allowing whatever needs to happen to go ahead and happen then. You know, and I don't know, that might be a blue ocean to YouTube. You know, YouTube people might prefer more predictability. Like, oh, she's coming on Thursday. We're gonna talk about Mexican magic, which is this book that I have, by the way. This is the next book that I'll be reading. We're gonna talk about Mexican magic. We're gonna do this. She has her sacred geometry seed of life. We're going to be going over that, which of course we could do all of these things and then some, and we might, but it comes up oftentimes in an organic way, and I don't always have a structure to what I do, and I don't always have a timeline to when I do it. And I think that's part of the reason why it is what it is. I'm not, and I'm okay with that, because it's not a business, it's a presence. And those who enjoy it, man, I'm so grateful for you guys. You know, hey, Bodie, how are you? I'm so grateful for those who find pleasure in what the goddess brings. We get here and we kiki and we have fun, but it's not for everybody. You ain't lying. Y'all, it is not for everyone. And I'm okay with that. You guys know that you can't be everything to everybody anyway. This crystal has this dark spot in it that I don't even know about. I don't even know about, you know. You know what I mean? So last thing I'm going to talk about randomly, because it just came to mind, was I was watching this social media clip, and it was on YouTube. No, yeah, YouTube. And this lady was talking about how she went out on a date with this guy, and they went fishing, and they shared a milkshake, and she was like, well, it's been 6 hours into the date. They went fishing. He was catching all this fish. She didn't catch any fish. I guess he didn't teach her how to fish. I don't know. But the point is, my friend says dinner is ready. Let me text her real quick. You tell me 7 o'clock. I'm going to be there at 7. Okay. Be over in 5 minutes. Ooh, I don't like when people tell me a certain time and then I'm programmed for that time. But anyway, that's why you gotta be flexible in life, because child, things be changing. Anyway, so quickly, the lady says, she asked the man, well, because they had a date planned for Saturday and Sunday, like a double date, a double, you know what I mean? She's like, well, tell me, well, what are your thoughts? How do you feel about me? Well, she's right next door, so after I'm done with my neighbor, I'm gonna take my ass right over back home and get naked. Probably eat some ice cream. Probably eat some chicken, because I'm a big back girl. Anyway, and the guy's like, well, first of all, the lady said early on that the guy was shorter than what he said, but she didn't tell him about it. She was just notating it in the story. Anyway, she asked him, well, how do you feel about me and this and that and us? He says, well, basically told her that she wasn't as attractive as he thought she was. And the lady said that, I don't know if he directly said it, but the title of the video was like, the man said that I was ugly or something like that. And the part that disturbed me wasn't necessarily that, but it was the people in the comments. One person said she needed to hear that. And I'm just like, wow. So she needed to hear that somebody's opinion that she's out on a date with, she needed to hear that he thought that she was ugly. And the other people were like, yeah, because, basically saying that in so many words, women in general need to be taken down a peg or two, like this, like the old man said in The Color Purple. And I just thought to myself, wow, there's so many hurt people in this world that feel like the only way to feel better about themselves is to put a whole gender down because they feel bad about themselves. It's crazy to me. And other people agreeing. And this is why taking breaks from social media is like uh, for your mental health, because you see the way some people operate, you see the way the ego takes over, you see the way people treat each other, mistreat each other, and then justify that. I would never. And that's not me standing on a righteous hill because people do what they want. In my opinion, I just feel like you don't. I'm saying like Wendy Gagnon said in the fourth grade. You don't have to blow out my candle to make yours shine brighter. You could just simply shine. You know, it's exhausting, the divide between men and women. It's exhausting. And it's been going on since the beginning. Yeah, clear vision. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But anyway, I can't be on here longer because I have to go to dinner. And when somebody invites you to dinner, then you take your ass over there and you be there as timely as you can, because I don't know about you, but my mother says dinner's at a certain time. That's what time it is. You have your ass at the table. Period. Anyway, going to dinner. Love you all. We'll see if I come back. If I feel like coming back, you guys, I'll be here. But until next time, love someone, starting with yourself. Bye. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to Strella. Thank you so much. Bye.